Hello, everyone. We are back with some more Kerbal Space Program. While some of you may know that I was supposed to be doing Voices of the Void today, I've had a bit of a stressful day and would like to enjoy just getting our people back from the moon. Because we have definitely stranded them again. However, it's not my fault. We just happened to run out of time. They are perfectly fine. They only spent a little under 24 hours stuck on the moon. Don't worry, we are going to get them. Now, we are prepared to leave the moon. What I intend to do when I leave the moon will be to... I really don't need the editor. Like, while I can do stuff in here, also, that is something we are going to have to run. Oh, I do apologize. It looks like I do have a small emergency to take care of. I will be right back. That's an odd thing. Let me fix the small issue in chat, but that is fine. Let's time warp just a little bit. Okay. Nope. Let's close that out. I'm surprised it's not giving me a quick rundown of the moon. Only it does Kerbin. Okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tell it aim straight up, move. Oh, always good when it decides to just, you know. Okay. Are some of these throttled and others not? That's their north. Go this way. There we go. Semi-useful. There we go. Okay, since we are having a hard time with control, you're gonna bring all these to 10. Gamer Key might get himself kicked out of the room because he's sitting here biting my hand. More specifically, my arm, while I'm attempting this. Orbit prograde. Okay, that's enough that we do not end up a dead man's orbit. This and leave here. Be able to gently have fuel to pull this off, but we do want to make sure that our periapse isn't too deep. Deep enough. Could put us right there. Execute the next node. Now, the reason we're doing this the way we're doing it is because we don't have a heat shield. Coming in hot and fast, not an option for us. Now, something has one of our engines giving a off value of thrust, so we do have to be careful about that. Thankfully, like we're burning quite safely. Select all. We all accept EVA. All. Once the burn's done, we all. EVA report. Get back in. Collect it all. Technically, we are now okay. Get those gear in so they don't burn up. Sir, I said to all except EVA. Deploy all except. Collect all. No idea what that is or why it's not letting me do it, but of all that. I think I might be sending the science can into a small pack attack. Or science part. You're already going to have to go through a very dangerous re-entry style. One in which we are actively burning ourselves closer. The main thing we want to do though is check our, where is it? Surface info. Surface speed, yeah, that's no bueno. engines. Definitely should have put a light in here. So many tools I put in here. There we go. Hmm. Close up the bay. Where the doors cause any more issues than they probably are. Our periapsis. Run through. Hmm. Right. I'm looking at physical distance from ground. Theoretically, if I keep doing this burn, I might be able to put her down. Somewhere useful. Engine's cut because eh. This is going to be a lot more painful because I kept burning for a little too long. That means my skim is going to be very, very high. So what I might want to do is tell it to face up. Let's push our periapts up just a little bit. We'll even change these to 25. And while that will reduce how much burn I'm able to do, it will also prevent me from burning up in the atmosphere. Hey, now orbital, retrograde, and now we can start burning, because as there we go. Well, that's the engines out. The if I did this right, which I'm not saying I did, but if I did this right, we're not going to land anywhere near, because we are too deep in the atmosphere at this point. Once this drops below 70, that's it. And we are now in our fall. Still doing over 2 kilometers up. So this is going to be a very rough one. Our periaps still isn't grounded, so we're probably going to overshoot the Space Center. I'm going to tell it to drop our parachutes, even though we don't really want to do that. I'm doing that, so we have a better chance of landing a little closer to here. Not a lot better, but a little bit better. Periap still has not grounded us out. And as we are now past Apoaps, we will be in our crash orbit. So, use time warp and watch this guy. Whew. Let's watch this guy scream. It's interesting. I don't even have like a theoretical, like, I want to land there. Oof. So I selected it, doesn't mean it's gonna work. This, set retrograde. Fortunately, I'm pretty sure. Oh, this tool is gonna burn up in the atmosphere. Nothing I can do about it. But hold on tight. Yeah, I get that. I would agree that it is, in fact, a risky deployment, so maybe don't. Station. Retro. Norris. Gonna get a nice little streak over of the center, though. However, we will be streaking over at a very alarming rate. Purple health. Uh, hey, he's no longer got the flu. I can't believe I just sent him to the moon with the flu. Oh, that's funny. I don't know why it thinks I did a flyby of the sun, but it paid well for it. Like, I definitely have a politician on payroll, because that did not happen, but they definitely claim it. Worst part is, I'm not even in the, like, scary part. Oh, wrong one. God. Oh, Mimus. Mimus. That's where you're hiding. Oh. Oh no, I lost it again. Right there. Switch to surface speed because that's what we're doing right now is surface. Yeah, force it to go retrograde. Oh, forgot to bring the antennas in. Yeah, don't need them anymore. Kill rotation. Kill rotation. Kill rotation. We are shaving speed off quite heavily. Well, we're definitely gonna get a splashdown if things don't just shear off. Right now, the only thing keeping it together is MechJeb. Probably just look like a fireball screaming through the sky from there. Well, the deeper we get, the faster it's gonna try to slow us down, so... Okay. Now, please tell me the parachutes are gonna deploy, because... Whew! And they've all been knocked out. We all accept it for the EVA, because we do not want them EVAing like that. Surface. Face us up. Best you can do for us. Maybe don't spin. I like the heaviest tool on the face of the earth. Is that what that is? Just for safety's sake, we will do a quick save. Now we know at 2.5K, it's going to deploy the drogues in their slowdown. We just need to be calm about it. I believe this will get us to a nice slow speed based off of the current speed we're going at. Thankfully, the parachutes do not have interactions with each other, otherwise we'd never pull this off this way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, drogues are deployed. Our next slowdown will be at 1 kilometer. Three, two, one. Reduction. Okay, and our final speed under 4 meters per second. That is within surviving limits, and we are only a little ways out of bay. Like, I could technically make a ship to come get this with how close it is. Why not? Well, of course, there's a reason why not. You know, it's insane to get out before the thing is landed. However, we will be doing a satellite mission next, putting some satellites in orbit of the moon. Right now, we cannot transmit the data that we are currently collecting on the moon off the moon, which is not really a great thing to be doing. It'd be nice if we got our data from the moon, thank you. And touchdown. Deploy all. EVA report. Back in. Collect everything. And recover. Let's see. How profitable was this mission? We already saw it's quite profitable in the cash perspective. 1.4 million. And a whopping 3,434 science. Excuse me. Where are the rest of the crew? Okay, they got credit. The only one who didn't get credit, oh, because he didn't set foot on the moon. I'm sorry, Jeb. You're gonna have to go on the next moon mission and kind of deal with that. We now have enough to update that, and we have the science to go with it. Specialized construction, I believe, is the one that's going to give me the docking ports. Of course, heavier rockets means easier launches, precision propulsion, more small-scale stuff, advanced fuels. I believe we're gonna carefully just come down this line. We can afford it all. The general rule of thumb is if you can afford it, do it, especially for safety's sake. Now, $1 million question is, Here's a tool that I am confused about where it's at in the tech tree. And I believe it's part of standard KSP. There it is. Controller. That's gonna make life so much simpler for some of this stuff. Heat management's gonna be nice. Hydroponics is gonna be not as useful. But maybe we will get to base building at a point. Now, nuclear propulsion is going to have some really neat stuff. Like, if you look at that ISP in vacuum, those are some crazy numbers. They're expensive, but they're going to be very, very useful. Now, technically, unmanned tech would be something that would be very useful as well. Space plane setups like SAS upgrades, like control packages, like a lot of this stuff is just upgrades, but they're good upgrades. But believe it or not, we're not that worried about it. Now we have over 1 million, so we're not too worried about that. Given what we are currently doing, this should be a relatively simple endeavor. And by simple, I mean, you know, going somewhere. Let's see if we have any better communication satellites, because as of right now, I have a lot of great stuff to work with. Like, we got some nice stuff, but nothing that's ooh wow. Honestly, oh, let's try the new one. Oh, I can measure the magnetosphere. Cool. It does biome and terrain, and that just does terrain, so sorry, buddy. I didn't realize there's no let's do that with that as an upgrade. Now what we want to do is work on building these into very small, very powerful satellite systems. Not a lot I can do to make that look better aside from that, and that's kind of pushing it. Yeah. So, this is the general body of our new probe cores. Let's see what we can do with them. So, cool, we have xenon tanks. Do we actually have the xenon engines to go with it? Because it would be very, very nice to have ions. Yep. We've just made it to the technical big leagues. These ion tanks are absolutely absurd when it comes to how much fuel you are capable of getting them to work with. Like, this is just insane amounts of fuel. Like, that's very nice. That is very, like, not a lot there, but it's a very long burn. Very precise burn, actually. Like, I'm pretty sure that's technically more meters per second, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go to the engine itself. So, here's my favorite part. I come here, and it's already got, you know, an insane thing. But if I just up the fuel flow, I can theoretically... I could theoretically make this too expensive to run. But for now, we will consider this the base core for our probes. Come down here and look at relay antennas. See if they gave us anything fun. Technically did. These guys have a nice transmission capability. come to power because I do believe we got some. Gonna toss that on there just so that we have a nice trickle charge. Now that we have these photo cells, we want to come here, extend. Awesome. Retract. Retract. There we go. Not really a fan of that design. Given their current charge capabilities, I do want to see if we can put something. Ooh, that's very big. Something with more kick, but honestly, that might be worth it simply by virtue of put them there, retract them. They look like they belong. Come to heat regulation. Gonna these there. Now we want to come here because our one of our big issues is our standard antenna. It gets in the way, so. Weird that it gives me a connection point for that. You know what? That, as silly as it looks, appears to work. Here, we'll find the engine mountings. That's a mailbox. It's nice that we have docking ports now. Too big. That's technically the right height, but okay. Now, that is one of them. We want to make this a multi-series system. So, grab this. We want to go to retooling. That's going to go there. We go here. Sub-assembly. This sub-assembly. This is a COM set Mark II. Now the important thing is I have to build something that can get around the moon. I gotta be able to do it with some practices. So, what actually what we're gonna do make a new thing, put that there, go boom, boom. And boom. And then we're gonna retool back to that. That way I can toss that out. Now let's see. Other than our little guys that are pushing so little thrust, it is not even a thought. I come to engines. What kind of thrusters do I want to look for? Right now, our little poodle engines, which are right here, they're pushing 414. And I don't think I have, like, I don't even think in my cryo engines I've got anything pushing that. And normally, like, that's nice, but very big. And it also requires power, so let's see. In a vacuum, that'll give me 50 kilonewtons. It's fine, Maverick. Sorry if I missed your chat. It has been a very, very, very long day for me. As you can tell by the fact that I'm playing KSP, because I need something, as silly as it sounds, calming to play. So we did get our people back from the moon. So that is the thing. Also, I will be playing a little later than normal, and that's only because we had a small delay. So we get a little extra time today to work with. So it's technically not anti-moon, but it's an anti-landing itself. As in, you know, getting them off the moon, because landing on the moon was the easy part. Making sure they didn't, you know, explode on re-entry was the hard part. And somehow we pulled that off. Somehow they're okay. I really need to make that tank look prettier, because that's gonna drive me insane. It's gonna drive me insane forever. Service module. I don't like that it's perfect and not really necessary for me. But yeah, anti-mun is just a bit of a joke. Although, if you, when you rewatch the beginning, you can literally see Minmus just on the horizon. We can't do anything about it. Like, just sitting there, staring at us. At this point, I wouldn't doubt it. At this point, if it stared back long enough, I might actually get, you know, the ability to look at it long enough to land on it. Like, don't get me wrong, if I really wanted to, I could probably land on Mimbus by eyeballing it. But that would be very fuel very fuel heavy, and I would have to figure something out because that would definitely be a one-way mission. But it would be very funny to see just like a probe or something floating in space because the game doesn't want to recognize that we found it. Couplers. Standardized key coupler. So, as you can tell, I'm building new comm satellites. You know me well enough by now. Where are we putting them? And don't stare too long at the satellites. I just now noticed what they look like, and I'm gonna pretend that I don't notice. I just noticed. I need to get rid of those, because in theory, when that all detonates, okay, that's not even big enough. That is, and doesn't even look the part. You know what? Not even worrying about it right now. If you guessed putting this on the moon, because we don't have any service there and we have a little base on the moon right now, you would be correct. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna let me do that, so we're just gonna do that for extra safety. Now here comes the insanity. Oh, that reminds me. Let me toss a mech on this. Mech jib. Solar panels and batteries, and that way I can deorbit that one and I don't put in a right. Hey, it's not my fault that apparently bullets are the most aerodynamic form of get it to space. Like, at least I'm not using a catapult to put it in space. That reminds me. Now that I've got the new engines, anything here have good thrust? The Megalodon. Actually pretty decent thrust in space, but the fact that I could toss a couple of those kind of makes it obsolete. And the fact that this, which is smaller, without putting excessively high thrust, means that's just insane. So, I was gonna do Voices of the Void, but to make a long story short, not even accounting for the fact that my recording software decided to erase all of my settings right before I started, I literally had to eat my dinner within 5 minutes of starting the stream because of a lot of complications that happened, and I was like, you know, I feel like Voice of the Void might be a little too frustrating right this very second. So I decided that will be Thursday's stream, and what I'm going to do is my streams don't, at least for what is it, the Thursday and Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, instead of doing them tied together, they may be two separate things, so we'll still freestyle a lot more on Friday, but we'll probably mix in either some KSP, Voice of the Void, kind of whatever we're feeling like that's already in our roster. We'll probably be finding a slot in Tuesdays and Thursdays until we find something that really clicks. I still haven't gotten a chance to look at any of the Minecraft mods to see if one of those is worth it. But my question for you, Maverick, is, have you found not even have you found a solution to that math problem yet? Oh, really now? So is this how professors feel? uh, I'll get the assignment done tomorrow, Professor. I promise. Oh. Not for core stage. Ooh. That does make these quite a bit more alluring. Oh, I absolutely adore the fact that I can do all this. The fact that that is how it decided it was doing its heat transfers is ridiculous. It'll figure itself out normally. Yeah, You know what? The engine's a little big for him, but here. I didn't realize the price of this rocket. What on earth is costing so much? Oh, it's these things. These things cost an insane amount. That would explain it. Those might be getting reworked simply by virtue of their price tag. Because I'm pretty sure, like, on their own, this costs nothing compared to the payload. And the payload is the thing that's not coming back. Fuel tanks. We're gonna make you blue. And then wonder why you're doing weird things. There. Why are you doing that? Okay, so you seem to have fixed yourself. Good. Now, that is, at least delta V wise, quite profitable. what we want to do is finish structural integrity on this. And what I'm assuming the massive price tag for that thing is going to be the fact that I have it set up as an ion engine. Like, let's see. Ion engine price. Honestly. Like, it's cheaper than the bigger one. It's expensive for the size, but it is cheaper. It's the fuel. Yeah, I think the fuels where our price tags getting hit. Like, these aren't cheap either, but compared to like these tiny little tanks being so expensive. What we're gonna do, come here very gently. We're gonna make these roughly the same height. Immediately hate it because we didn't apply the rest of the stuff to the previous stage design. Come here, build that to that. Now take it. Now come back and gently place that there. I will have to fix the staging on this. But for now, we are also turning these into duplex. Only because the current price tag is silly. Leaked fairing. Fairing. Well, there's the main price tag problem. I wish I could see the price of parts just by hovering over it. Is it the batteries? Batteries are always expensive. No. That one's actually cheap. That's actually cheap. Solar panels are expensive, but they're not the worst. Communications. Cheap. Let me think on. Give me one moment. My wife found a spider and needs my assistance. I'm back. Sorry about that. My wife reacts to a spider the same way, you know, the government reacts to finding a small nuclear device in which you have to stare at it or it'll disappear on you. Mix that with a crying baby, and you have a recipe for one freaked out wife. Payload, and just so that the fairings seem comfortable. You know what? Not even gonna knock it. Actually, I am gonna knock it because I can just get something simpler. Boop, boop. And boop. Do that. Change. Huh. Interesting. Normally you get to, color code your fairings. I guess I just did not get the one for this size yet that you can color code. Still such a very expensive rocket. You know what? Well, be like, I need these, so get this fairing. There we go. That looks a little more appropriate. Boom. There you go. Boom. 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 And then we will do the silly and make our triple threat right there. Now I'm definitely gonna need to figure out, because there is an engine somewhere. And according to this, I have not placed properly. That worries me. And haha. That would have shut me down very hard. Now, Go to our fuel. Get our transfers going. Is this overkill? Absolutely. Do I care? No, not so much. Like, it's expensive. But at this point, I want the job done, and I want it done right. So everything that is going up is getting parachutes to come down. You know what? That. Drop off that. Or government funded, but yeah. I wonder, how much cheaper can I make this? Oh. I zero these out. Okay, so if I do this, there is one umbilical cord. Hypothetically, I saved quite a bit off of this rocket, with the main cost of it being just waiting for the fuel to load, which I can do. So those guys have to go first. There, that can go there, that can go there, that can go there, that can go there. And it's just easier to go boop, boop, boop. Honestly, I don't even need those come off ever. That's just an emergency eject at that point. I don't know if you've ever seen what I'm about to do. Notice how I saved 60,000 cash by removing the fuel from the rocket? Can I still take off without fuel? Without cheating? What is your guess, Maverick? Yeah, honestly. You just watched me remove... right? Ooh, a little worrisome. He removed all the fuel from the rocket. How is it supposed to take off? This is going to be a fun little thing that I don't think anyone's told you. Now, I don't know if this is in the base game or if this is something that's added with the mods. Let me go back to my parachutes because I realize didn't put any parachutes on that. And so what I'm doing, I'm trading time for money. Now, if this doesn't work, I have to add the fuel back, which will be frustrating, but it's to be expected. Technically, I can go even further and remove all fuel from this, but you look here, you know, no delta V, yeah. If I come here, magical thing, fuel on. And it's gonna take a while, but this should start fueling every single tank. And since it's done in this menu, I'm not paying for that fuel cost. So, theoretically speaking, you can use this with some really big rockets with some really expensive fuel, and it will slowly start filling them up. But I don't even know where they're... Oh, so if you look, it does them, I think, based off staging. And what I can do is go here and here. Do an out from in kind of thing. But I think in order to do that, I have to come to the umbilical. Oh, I also have to reduce my time warp. Out of there, into there. And it's fine, because even though it's lessening, it's still filling up. Okay, unpin it. And all we gotta do is check the other tanks. As I time warp away, we are now full. Quick save. Oh look, all of our moon stuff. Fuel is good. Go to our ascent guidance, because this one is going to be 40 was magical number. Gonna be our big ticket item. Set target for the moon. Launch to rendezvous, which is a 1 hour wait time. It's gonna bring us up to that launch window. It's gonna have us do a nighttime launch. A little worrying, but we can see our moon right there. Ooh. That wasn't great, but she's off. I guess the problem with that one is I might have to manually do the launch, because it looks like the engines don't get up to thrust quite quick enough to catch it off the pad. Alright, let's check our flight recorder. Basically. Our altitude, orbital speed. One downside with a night launch, until you see that hard line, it's hard to tell where it's down and where it's up. But our speed is climbing quite fiercely. Then again, we are actually gaining thrust to weight as we move to such an extreme extent that we are literally superheating. I don't know, I think the new rocket design is effective. Definitely have to do a better job of hiding the batteries, though, because those are the things that are currently overheated. I do enjoy that yelling at me that my loops have not dissipated their temperatures. We'll get there eventually. Right now it's not really set up for it, so. Nice. Good connection. And more than enough fuel to get up there. I haven't even upgraded this rocket yet, so that might be a thing that's gonna happen in the future. Oh, that's neat how the engine takes a second to cycle down. Uh, uh, cute. Um, that's not quite where I want it to end up. We want that. Cute. The next node. Which reminds me, I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna drop those and those. And we'll probably execute those ourselves in a moment. Node in 10 minutes. We will slowly get there. Now we want to come here. One of the most important things I'm going to do, come to my communications vessels, ComSat Mark II. Master frequency is going to be a 100, setting us up to the backbone. It will eventually become the moon backbone, but for now, you can see our little control station trying to figure out what it's supposed to do. It can't. Whole reason we're doing this. The Maverick. I just learned a funny unintentional thing. Guess what I just did? So, in theory, I just realized with my stage recovery, I can take entire fuel tanks, empty them for their dry mass, load them up on the, good night, Maverick. Let me just let you know, load them up with fuel, launch them, and recover them while they still have fuel for the payout for them. So technically, I could seize cash with a government-sanctioned uh, robbery, we'll say. Uh, Good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget about your homework. And to everyone watching at home, I am absolutely terrified of the idea that that observer is the only thing that might keep me connected because I don't have my secondary satellites implemented yet. So yeah, that's a thing. Might be putting satellites out here at some point, just outside the moon's catchment range. Oof. Okay, at least right now I'm not consuming that much energy. Okay. It's funny that our apoaps and periaps are pulled right down. So it's going to yell at me, so what I need to do is periaps. Right? 500 kilometers. Node. And since it is technically let it sit for a second because I do want to catch that. That does need to be knocked out of orbit. Definitely gonna have to set up a scanner for the moon tomorrow. If there's anything worse mining for on the moon. So interesting that the engine has a cooldown period. This because this has to be deorbited. Since we don't have control, we're just gonna let this as it will. Fine, because as it swings, it slowly comes in. That Mark II. Alright, our periaps is nice. Now I want to fix the apoaps. And we come here to fix it. Funny thing is, we haven't even switched to our high yield tank here. Probably gonna do is set this up for it. Really don't like the idea of doing a lunar impact with it, but that might be an idea. I think I might also use the fuel available on it to get it to do a catch on Kerbal. Might have to do what we're doing here, where we're slowly cycling it down. Absolutely gonna overshoot it. But it's gonna overshoot it by just enough that's roughly the same. Add a maneuver here. Yep. Oop, a little too far. There we go. We'll tell this to do the execution on this. What's going to happen is we're going to do this, but then we are going to immediately undo it. Undo it after the stage. How far off are we going to be? Because I just realized the engines have the overdrift. Ooh. Okay. You can do it, buddy. And then create node. Execute. Not great, but in theory it'll keep burning until it is nice and complete. We will find the own way back. And then we will do another recorrecting burn. The constellations, Kerbin, constellation, frequency 200. It's going to be colored a nice blue. And that's going to be Mun backbone. And we got plenty of fuel. Let's fix our periapps. Create and execute. Go off our own. Set up to handle a very, very nice precision burn. Roll over to it. That next time. Periapps down to 100. And execute node. Port node execution though, only because you know what? We'll do it the way we've always done it. Even though I could technically drop something here, I will get the node cleared first. Go. There. Take this. Decouple. At least in theory. Should start getting a signal, but in order to do that, one of the things we want to do is come here. This frequency, why don't you have control? There you go. You have control. Extend solar panels. Heat system is behaving as it should. Radiator. Do periapps at 500. Create a node. It's a minute and a half burn time. How to execute said node. What we're going to do is we're going to get them in the right orbit, and then we will switch their channels over. Okay. We'll have quite a bit of power. Abort. Kill rotation. Hmm. Hmm. Really weird that giving a good. Hmm. Really odd one. That's better. Well, steadily climbing. Hmm. That's funny. Cool. Now we switch over to our other one. You need to be very, very careful with this because create a node, aim at the node, a warp there. Then gently come here, couple it, switch to it. Good. Create and execute said node. Now, in theory, this should be fine, but I'll keep an eye on it. Worst case scenario, we can extend the panels. extend the panels, extend that with a killer. Mind me, I come here. I'll switch this relay and get it facing the right way. Well, we should have sun at almost all times. We want to make sure it's nice and careful. Patient kill. That. Here to launch. This one. To warp there. Missed our jump point again, but just working with what we got. Couple this node. All that, create and execute. Thankfully, it's going to just nice and carefully cycle in. I feel like I missed an orbit. I feel like one's supposed to be sitting there. It's odd. Or that could be it, and that's the one before it, so who knows? We'll find out in a bit. No rotation. And another one tucked away. Quickly move, create, lock on, warp to the node. Definitely should have jumped to that at some point, but nothing I can do about that one. Couple. I'm assuming these are gonna disappear as I cycle out, create, execute. It's gonna clean up so much nicer when I switch it over. Uh-oh. That was poorly handled. Again, forgot to activate the engine. Really need to be more careful with that. That could have gone terribly. How much more fuel did this have? Boatload of fuel. All node. Create a node. Save. Execute the node. This should just warp you quickly around the planet. Sorry, around the moon. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Drop out. let's look at dropping this tank. Save before we do this. We're gonna launch this. Nominal. Extend. Hold. Saving. This. Maneuver. There, and we are going to tell you and very gently drop out of the sky. Tell you to lock onto the node. That. And since this is set to go back, call it a night with this last burn. Everything's gonna just fall out, and tomorrow I will set these as the moon nodes so that they are all set, because I am well over time. Alright, everybody. We will be calling it a night. I will finish this burn off camera, as all it is a burn. And I will see you all next time. Take it easy.